Yo, what's up guys, Shujinkydink here with another video to entertain or assist you in becoming a better Mortal Kombat player. This video is all about zoning with Quan Chi. I've been asked this quite a few times by quite a few people, so I decided to finally go ahead and make a video about a little tutorial for some zoning. So I'm going to do it for all three variations because they all zone completely differently. I'm going to start with Summoner because he is definitely the strongest zoner of the three. Summoner zones in almost like a combo aspect. Once you kind of get everything going, it's pretty much impossible to run out of meter full screen, and even if you do run out of meter, you can still keep your opponent trapped there. So we're going to set Katana to block here. Didn't choose Katana for any specific reason, I just told her. So there's a couple different scenarios. We'll start with the first one, which is if they block the skull. So if they block the skull full screen, they're guaranteed a ruin. That's how it goes. That's the same for all variations of Quan, even Warlock, even though it's shitty. So you can do the skull into EX Ruin, and that jails. And like I said, that's assuming they block the skull. Before people are saying, oh, you can duck the skull. We'll go into that afterwards. But duck the skull, get the EX Rune. EX Rune guarantees another rune. So there's your pattern right there. That is your basic zoning pattern for Quan Chi. Your skull, EX Rune, regular rune. I messed it up. Of course I would while I'm recording video. There you go. Easy enough, right? So then you get the Battle. And then that's when the jailing really begins. So you can do that into EX Rune, into Rune, and then you throw the bat, and the bat keeps them locked there, and then you can do another EX Rune after if you want. And then that guarantees another EX Rune. So you kind of see where it kind of jails them. So you kind of want to keep them in one spot to keep them not really knowing when to get out. Skull, EX Rune, Rune, bat, EX Rune if you want, another rune. So you see that that's quite a bit of chip damage. That's 2 bars a meter, but it's just kind of what Quan Chi does. And we'll see, let's set it to normal, we'll see how much of that we build back. EX Rune, Rune, bat, EX Rune. So we built back half a bar. So it's like a bar and a half for all that chip damage. It's pretty good. And that's assuming that none of it hit them. So let's say that they get hit by the second hit of EX Rune and try to get out, then you combo it and then you get 12%. Now there's 2 different things you can do here. If they get hit by the rune, you can either go into another rune and then get the damage, or you can just do that and then get your bat out for free. And then you jail them with a rune when they try to get out. That's usually my preferred method, depending on how much meter I have. See, I ran out of meter there, so. And if you have the bat out, you can actually do a longer combo with it. Assuming they get hit by the second hit. Oh, then you got 22%. There you go, because they got hit by the second hit of the EX Rune. And that's another thing with the EX Rune with the zoning is, we'll set Katana back to block everything, is you can delay the rune. So if you didn't know, this works good in pressure too, but you can actually delay this rune. So this is the regular rune. Keep forgetting you don't have infinite meter. I can set that back now because I'm pretty sure that I'm done. So that's the regular rune. Boom, boom. 1, 2. Also delay it. 1, 2. The more you delay it, the more plus on block it is. So if you fully delay it, that's +7. If you delay it just a little bit, it's like +1 or +2, something like that. Good for getting like a little down 1 or something afterwards. But yeah, the longer you delay it, the bigger the gap is. So you can armor if you delay the rune. And a lot of people at the high level will start to do that, so just be aware of that. But that's another thing that I like to do zoning, is I'll just do runes, 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 and then rune, and then delay it, and then enhance it. Not only is it really plus, and it allows for a definite guaranteed other rune, because that's a little bit of a tight link. You have to get a pretty just frame to get it to link. But if you do it, the EX one, it makes it a little bit easier. This works especially well when you have your bat out. Because if people are scared to jump because they don't want to get hit by the bat, even though you don't have any intention to use the bat, it's still kind of scary that it's just floating there and you could throw it in any second. If you do have your bat out, I always recommend never like wasting it. once you kind of get the hang of Summoner Quan, you kind of start to realize when that bat will start to go away. Boom. Boom. So if you have it out, I mean, if you get hit and the bat goes away, that's one thing. It's not really big. It happens. But, yeah. Anyways, never waste a bat is what I was trying to say. So we'll go back to original zoning pattern now and explain the runes a little bit more. So you got skull into EX rune into rune. You got the bat out, you got skull, EX rune, rune, bat, rune, EX rune, rune again if you want. Now alternatively, if you have the bat out, you can do, this is what I like to do. I do skull, fireball, skull, EX rune, rune. And I do that because the fireball will usually catch them if they try and jump over the skull, which if you're sitting full screen, sooner or later you're going to try to do. You want to have it trailing the skull just a little bit. They can jump over both of them if they time it right, but I find most of the time it actually hits them. So that's usually my thing that I like to do. They're still guaranteed a nice amount of chip damage. So we'll go into it here. Let's say that they want to duck the skull. They know the matchup and they duck the skull. So if they duck the skull, it doesn't hit them at all. And you can actually duck this, and then if I go to do EX rune afterwards, you can jump out of that. It's no problem. Now it's a different story if I have the bat out. So if they duck and I have the bat out, I can just send the bat right behind the skull, and I either have to block both of them, or they're going to get hit by the bat. And it's a little bit tricky to time. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get it here, but you can actually combo them. I might have to hit them with the bat first. Yeah. Bat has to hit them first. But if you notice that they're ducking that, that's an option, then you get 25%. Alternatively, and this is kind of, I believe, the better way to do it, EX trance, call your bat. You get 34% and push them back full screen. So that's what I'd recommend if you see that they're doing that a lot. Alternatively, also, you can do the EX skull. Bam, how about that? 34%. That's a mid, so they can't even duck it, even if they try to. Look at that. Look at that swagness. Oh, I dropped the ender, but you got the idea. That's all 3 bars. But yeah, it's good to throw that one out every once in a while. Not that full combo, because that's a little bit much, I think. But it looks cool. You can impress a friend or a girlfriend or something with it. And yeah, that's another thing that you can use full screen. Usually off any bat, you can get the EX trance. It does require a little bit of a hard read though. So kind of make sure, unless you do it off the EX rune, but then you're using 2 bars, and the EX rune also scales a lot. So you're not going to get max damage, but I mean 37% full screen to send them back full screen, pretty good for 2 bars, considering the amount of meter that you build. Now, if you ever run out of meter, you can just kind of spam runes like this. Try to find a spot where you can get your bat out. Spam runes so they respect the bat. There you go, you don't even need EX rune to combo. As long as you hit them with a regular rune, you're good to go. And that's basically Summoner Quan Chi in a nutshell as far as the zoning wise. Just remember the patterns that I showed you for zoning. And now we're going to move on to Sorcerer. So we are here with Sorcerer, and he zones completely differently than Summoner. He more just kind of wants you to feel stranded out there. So that you still have the same techniques where Skull jails into EX Rune, but now that's going to be even more effective because we also have the MeterSteal one. And every time that they get hit by it, see, we spend a bar, they lose a bar and a half, and we're still building meter back because we're doing special moves. So this kind of inhibits a lot of characters from using a lot of full screen armored moves to kind of get in, like Liu Kang's Flying Kick, Mournful's Shadow Kick. There's quite a few others I could mention, but that's kind of like, this is like my main squeeze. Quan is zoning them out, stealing all their meters, so they have no way in. And then as soon as they have no meter, then I put the armor up, and then it's like, really, like, what the fuck do you do? Yeah, I put the armor up because, 1, they have no meter, and 2, because I know that if I have the armor up, they are going to be building meter back. So instead of having the purple one, This gives me a little bit of extra time, and I'll usually finish out the round with this one. Just kind of zoning and reads and stuff like that. It is a little bit more read heavy, especially once you get into like this area, because they can jump over the skulls and they can jump over the runes and stuff. So yeah, alternatively, depending on the setup you use, these are not guaranteed setups, but you can also do just regular combos like this. And then you can do that one. As you know, it does enhance chip damage. Does 10.5 chip. So then you got 15% chip damage for 1 bar off your guaranteed one there. I don't think EX Skull does anything more than regular Skull. Oh, it does actually, 6.75. So yeah, for 2 bars, you can guaranteed setup. There you go. I don't really use this one that much just because there's no real, it's not really guaranteed to set up. Even after the 141, you set it up, it's a gimmick, they can just jump away from it. So I don't use it a whole lot. It's more I use it in the corner to finish a match or something with the EX trance setup. But that's basically the gist of it too. Armor spell, of course, is really good to zone. It stops a lot of people from teleporting. A couple people like Scorpion or Ermac with like multi-hitting teleports can still hit you out of it, so be careful of that. That's why usually when I do this, I usually try and drain their meter first. Works really good against Scorpion as well, because if he has no meter full screen, the only teleport you can do is just the regular one, and you can hit him out of that with your runes. And then once you get the armor up, then he has no meter. If he wants to teleport, he's just getting hit by the armor, and then you can full combo punish him. So it's going to take a little bit of experimenting when it comes to different characters and like where it's advantageous to steal meter and where it's more advantageous to use armor. I find Mournful, for example, if she uses the EX Glaives, they can go and come back and hit you out of your armor circle. So that's one that I would probably want to steal the meter first, and also for EX Shadow Kick that can hit you. So things like that. That's basically it for Sorcerer. So we're going to move on to probably the weakest zoner in the game, Warlock. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, okay, Warlock isn't the weakest zoner in the game, which I meant variation, weakest variation to zone with. And I say that because he's not really a weak zoner, he's a counter zoner. So he has this forward 3, which is the kick in the butt move. Boom. It's 9%, and that is something you really need to pay attention to, because you need to know exactly how much damage your opponent's projectiles do, because this is in your favor as a trade for like the majority of the time. So let's go with, so let's see how much damage her glaive does. 6%. So if I trade that with her, I'm at 3%. So if we're like at a zoning war, or we're just going back and forth and she keeps throwing glaives, it's in my favor to keep kicking her in the butt. Why I can't kick her in the butt from that range is one of the reasons why I do not like this variation. Very inconsistent. It works against Melina. Melina, I believe her in piercing, her size do like 6%, I think, maybe 7. So the boot to the butt is always in your favor too. Oh, I see, because Katana leans forward. Yeah. You also get the little head tickle there. I don't really like this move as a zoning thing very much, because I'll take her off that. That's kind of annoying now. Because even if it hits him, it puts him like right in front of it. Right in front of you. I usually just follow it up with that. And the neat thing about the little kick in the butt move is it really like changes his hitbox. So there's a couple matchups where it's advantageous. I'll show you that. But the main thing is if they tech roll after that, they'll actually roll backwards. Watch this. Yeah, they roll back full screen again. They're kicking you forward and they're moving back. Because if they don't tech roll, you're kind of pushing them into it, and you can scoop, or you could back 2, or whatever you want to do, throw this dead person at them. I just like to use that every chance I get. But yeah, that's kind of cool. Oh, quick walk back. Yeah, especially in the neutral. Ooh, that's a hard knockdown. I actually didn't know that. We learned something today. I've never used that string. It's a 8-frame Punisher string. It completely whiffs in the corner, which is very unfortunate because I would love to use it sometimes in the corner. Yeah, you see his legs like way the fuck out there. Who knows where the hell it's in. But let me show you a couple of interesting things with Warlocks 4-3. Okay, now this is a really interesting thing. And I chose the training room for a reason. So let's go AI options. Reversal mode on. Lock on missiles. Now you'll see. Now look at this camera that's like right behind Sector. Now watch his missiles go up, and you see they go behind him because Quan Chi has an extended hitbox on his foot. The missiles are actually trying to track his foot hitbox. So if you'll see in the camera, they're actually ending up behind him, which is useful. I mean, let's say I throw a skull, I follow it up with a boot, and the missiles don't come down on me, they rain up behind him. It's pretty freaking cool. I'll show you a couple other characters it works on too. So we got Tremor here. This works in all variations of Tremor in his rock drop. So if you see a Tremor do the rock drop, oh, it's 4-3, and you see the rock ends up behind him in the same camera up in the corner. Boop. There's the rock. Boop. See a rock. Don't have to worry about that. Broken. Okay, and lastly we have Young Devora in the Broodmother variation. You see the bugs running backwards. Oh! Why isn't she doing it like every time? Is there a cooldown on that I'm unaware of? Oh, the bug's disappearing. Come on. Oh, see a bug. That one's a little bit more specific timing wise, but it's actually really good. I want to test one more that I actually haven't tested before, and we'll find out together. Alright, so for our last experiment here, we're going to see if this will counter the stomp. Oh, it hits him out of it, so we don't even have to worry about that. Oh, maybe the armored one, though. Let's see if I can do it after he goes up in the air. See if... Okay, so it doesn't work on that one. I'll go with the crush instead. Oh, it boots him out of the crush. That's interesting. No, it still tracks him. Even if you boot him. Even if you give him the old boot to the butt, that one doesn't track. Oh well, we'll still have to figure out something for Goro, but... Anyways, I hope you guys found this video interesting. If you did, leave a like, because it really helps me out. And subscribe, because we make videos like this all the time. Hashtag Bonehawks and all that stuff, and we'll see all you guys in the next video.
Accept your death.